Hi, welcome to another Storytime video with Librarian Meli. I'm sorry, the camera is shaking. Stay still, stay still. This book really spoke to me when I read it. I was like, I must read this book. I must read it for my YouTube channel. It's called It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity. And I absolutely love the message and the illustrations, of course. Look at that. So much diversity. Okay. It's written by Theresa Thorne and illustrated by Noah Grigney. I'm sorry if I mispronounce names. This is Ruthie. She's a transgender girl. That means when she was born, everyone thought she was a boy until she grew a little older, old enough to tell everyone that she's actually a girl. Girl is Ruthie's gender identity. This is Ruthie's brother, Xavier. Xavier is a cisgender boy. That means when Xavier was born, everyone thought he was a boy, and as he grew older, it turned out everyone was right. He is a boy. Boy is Xavier's gender identity. There are so many different ways to be a boy or a girl, too many to fit in a book. But not everyone feels like either a boy or a girl. Non-binary is a helpful word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. This is Ruthie's friend Alex. Alex is both a boy and a girl. When Alex was born, everyone thought Alex was a girl, but Alex is both boy and girl. This is Alex's gender identity. This is Alex's friend JJ. JJ is neither a boy nor a girl. Ever since JJ was very little, they never felt exactly like a boy or a girl. They just felt like themselves. This is JJ's gender identity. So when you're non-binary, that means you could be both boy and girl, or it means that you don't feel like either a boy or a girl. Alex and JJ are both non-binary. Just like there are many different ways to be a boy or a girl, there are many different ways to be non-binary. Too many to fit in a book. Some kids feel like girls, some kids feel like boys, some kids feel like a little bit of both, part boy, part girl. Some kids don't feel exactly like a boy or a girl, they feel like neither. Some kids feel like their gender identity isn't always the same, it's often changing. So even though your gender identity might change throughout your life, it's okay, just as long as you're yourself. Even with all these possible ways to be, some kids don't feel like any of the words they know fit them exactly right. There are a never-ending number of ways to be yourself in the world. See, all that matters is that you're yourself. Whether you feel like a boy or a girl, both or neither, or if you describe yourself another way, that is your gender identity. Your gender identity might match what people thought when you were born, or it might not. See, when you were born, you couldn't tell people who you were or how you felt. They looked at you and they made a guess. Maybe they got it right, or maybe they got it wrong. What a baby's body looks like when they're born can be a clue to what the baby's gender will be, but not always. When people guess wrong, it's okay to let them know. Ruthie was 5 when she told her parents, "I know you think I'm a boy, but I really feel like a girl." Oops, Ruthie was a girl all along. They just didn't know it at first. So it's always important to have communication. and express yourself. When people guess right, it's also okay to let them know. Xavier was 3.5 when he told his family, "I'm a boy. I like being a boy." You might feel like a boy, you might feel like a girl, you might feel like both boy and girl, or like neither. You might feel like your gender changes from day to day or from year to year. You might feel that none of these words describes you perfectly. You might not be sure yet. Maybe you're still figuring it out. Your feelings about your gender are real. Listen to your heart. No matter what your gender identity is, you are okay exactly the way you are, and you are loved. It feels good to be yourself, doesn't it? And then here in the end, we have some helpful terms to know when it comes to gender identity. Yeah, so I totally recommend this book if you or your child have questions about gender identity, because to be very honest with you, I know this book might be a little controversial. It might make some people uneasy, but I think it's still important to learn about things so we're not ignorant or disrespectful to others. Gender identity is kind of a sensitive issue. I myself didn't really understand what non-binary meant, and believe it or not, this little children book helped me. It opened the door to me understanding this topic more. So anyway, even if your child doesn't have any gender identity questions, it's still a beautiful message to be yourself. So thank you.